Good morning. It's Sunday morning, 8 a.m. We're going to start. And we're going to do something rather simple today. I'm going to focus in, or have you focus in on your breath. I'm going to do a couple of different things with you. And this is really something we need to do when we have a two-way conversation for me to get into the depth of this. But for what we're going to do today, it's doable for where you are and where I am. So I'm going to have you just focus in on your breath, and I will talk you through it as we get into it. And it's a matter of teaching yourself to focus. So focus or concentration is a step that's necessary in order to be able to meditate. Because meditation, it is said, meditation is extended concentration. So we're going to focus in and concentrate in on our breath. It's real simple. It's something that everybody can do because they feel it. And they feel it's part of their physical body. And since most of us identify with the physical body and believe that is who we are, even though a lot of us will acknowledge that, yeah, we're mind, body, spirit, or mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, still most of us are locked into the physical body being the center of everything. And so we're gonna use that belief to teach us to go in a little deeper. So with that, close your eyes, get yourself comfortable in your seat, sit up tall, bring your shoulders over your hips, bring your ears over your shoulders. Start to breathe. I'm not going to give you any specific cueing on how to breathe yet, but just start your normal breathing pattern that you do when you meditate. Now, as you continue, all I want you to do is count in your mind how long your inhale is and how long your exhale is. You're not making any other adjustments, you're just counting where you are. Now, you're going to slow your breath down, and I don't know where each one of you are in your breathing, if you're breathing in for 4 and you're breathing out for 4, or you're at 6 and 6. But what I want you to do is increase your breath on the inhale and on the exhale by a count of 2. So Stephanie, what we're doing is we're just focusing in on the breath. Get yourself comfortable. Start to breathe in and out of your nose. The nose is for breathing, the mouth is for eating. So we're always going to breathe in and out of our nose. And some of you, I think all of you, have done this numerous times. So you're going to make sure you stay focused as you're doing this. Because you've done breathing and breathing exercises, pranayama, many, many times, you might be doing it unconsciously. I want you to be conscious. I want you to be aware, full attention on the breath. You're breathing in smoothly, slowly, deeply. You're breathing out in the same way. Right now your breath is even. The count on the inhale is the same as the count on the exhale. Now let's take it up a step. Let's see if you can add another 2 count to the inhale and 2 count to the exhale. So if you started out at 4 and 4, you're now at 8 and 8. If you started at 8 and 8, you're at 12 and 12. Okay? Continue your breathing pattern. Stay focused so that you're aware of what goes on. Not only in the physical body, the physiology, but your mental and emotional state. Okay, open your eyes. Go back to your normal breathing or keep a deep breath going. And this is what I want to tell you. When I'm going to talk to you about the immune system just for a moment, just to bring in an example. There's something called IgA, immunoglobulin A. It's probably the primary defense mechanism in the immune system. When you are stressed, we know IgA levels go down. So back in 2016, some of you have heard this story, Joe Dispenza decided to see, well, heck, we know we can bring the IgA levels down by being stressed. Can we bring them up? So he tested 117 people to see if IgA levels would increase if you put yourself in a happy state. And in fact, 100% of the participants had IgA levels increase by doing a meditation for 10 minutes, 3 times a day, for a period of 4 days. And not only did they increase, but they increased by 49.5%. Okay? So, we know that when you start to extend, we're moving back into the breath now, when you start to extend your breathing, and you go from, let's say you're at 4 and 4, you inhale for a count of 4, you exhale for a count of 4. And you decide, I'm going to do 8, I'm going to do 12, I'm going to do 16 on the inhale and 16 on the exhale. And you're getting up into those upper limits. Your, the default mode network in your body, that is your ego, will bring you to a state of panic or fear for 99% of the population. We know this. Been tested out. So there's a guy who lives in Sweden. His first name is Stig. I cannot remember. S-T-I-G. That's his first name. He's world renowned because he has been tested in front of a group of scientists and cardiologists and whatnot. He can hold his breath. He's done this many times for over 22 minutes. That's pretty extreme, right? But what he figured out is, well, if we can panic when we hold our breath for long periods of time, why can we not find a happy place? Kind of like Dispenza did in 2016. This guy did a number of years ago, and he's in the extreme levels of being able to hold the breath. Why is this important in meditation? He has to remain focused. And focus or concentration is the precursor to being able to meditate. Okay? It's the 6th limb of yoga. The 7th limb is meditation. Concentration is the 6th limb. You get into a level of focus or concentration. You can bounce up into meditation once you sustain that. And that's when you can then enter into samadhi or samadhi. Blissful states. So this guy Stig enters blissful states through the breath. Now the breath is something everyone can do because for the most part, most of us have been breathing all of our lives. Now we're going to do it consciously. Okay? And that's the reason I'm choosing the breath today. Because it is something you do. It is something that's physical. It is, and since you think you are a physical body, primarily, most of us think that, and that's part of our belief system, then I decided let's work on something physical, that is the breath. But what you're going to do, and there's way more to this than I can teach today. I'd actually have to be with you or on Zoom where we have feedback and I can see you. But what we're going to do today is we're going to put ourselves into a happy place. We're going to practice holding our breath, and we're going to practice again holding our breath by going into a happy place. What I want you to do, I kind of gave it away. What I want you to do the first time you hold your breath, and I'm going to be quiet for 1.5 minutes in case any of you can do 1.5 minutes. Where's my timer? I'm going to give you that much time, and I want you to see how you do. Okay? I will count out at 15-second intervals. So sit up tall. Take a breath in. Release it out softly. Do another one. Release it softly. And then take a deep inhale and hold your breath. Hold your breath and go to where you would normally go to. We're at 15 seconds. Stay with it. We're at 30. Coming up to 45 now. Approaching 1 minute now. $1:15. Okay. I'm assuming most of you stopped before 1 minute and 15 seconds, but I think maybe 1 or 2 of you could actually reach that. I will tell you this from personal experience. Back in 2002, I was practicing breathing a lot. And in the process of doing so, I had to focus in and I had to learn to relax because my fear is what came up when I was holding my breath. I always thought, you're going to get a kick out of this one, that I was going to drown. Now I'm in a room full of air, there's no water around, but that was the fear that came up for me. And I had to work that. And it took me months to get through it. You don't need months because we have other techniques to get you through things faster, but it took me months because I was naive and ignorant regarding a lot of things. So, after a few months, after 3 months of practicing, even less, 2 to 3 months of practicing, I was able to to inhale for 60 seconds, for 55 seconds, hold my breath for 60 seconds, and exhale for 55 seconds, and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. So I would have one breath every 3 minutes, and I could repeat it, and on and on and on. Now, the biggest challenge for me in doing that was not panicking. So I had to find a happy place. So we know there's all sorts of reasons to find a happy place inside. Not only for your immune system, which I mentioned before, but also for obviously for your general health and for your peace of mind. So finding a happy place is much more peaceful than being stressed and invoking the stress hormones, which does all sorts of things to the body physiologically, not just the immune system, but the cardiovascular system as well. And deteriorates and depletes everything, and on and on and on and on. So, using this, the breath, can be ideal for some people who just cannot get into just finding a happy place with no other aid. Okay, So you're going to use your breath as your vehicle to get to a happy state so that you can increase the length of your breath or increase the hold of your breath. Okay? So for some of you who have signed in late, I'm using the breath today as your form of meditation in combination with finding a happy place. So we're going to do another one. Okay? You guys ready? This time, when you hold your breath, find that happy space inside. Okay? And let everything else go. This works. I'm telling you it works. I've done it myself. It's very good for a lot of your systems inside of the physical body, so it's tremendous for your physiology. So, ready? Sit tall. Sitting tall allows you to take in more air. So breathe in. Let it go. Breathe in again. Let it go. Now take that deep, full inhale, expanding the belly, expanding the chest and the lungs, and go. Stay centered. Continue to sit tall. Finding that happy place inside. 45. 1 minute. One 15. I'll go another 15. 130. Okay. Now, just so you know, studies show that it takes 12 weeks, that's 3 months, 90 days, to get this and really show some drastic changes in both your breathing, your level of concentration, and your ability to maintain this golden state, this euphoria. So this is something to practice. Breathing in yoga, pranayama in yoga, is, as most of you already know, essential. It may be the key to bringing you to levels that are beyond what you think are physically capable. This guy, Stig, in Sweden, who has held his breath for over 22 minutes, does these things to prove science, to break the pattern of the scientific teaching that is currently going on. Because science says that if you hold your breath for a couple of minutes, you will pass out. Cardiologists say that if you hold your breath for a couple of minutes, you will have a heart attack. There's other areas of science that say if you do this, then this. And Stig has broken through every known paradigm having to do with a lot of the physiology of the body because of his capability, his ability to breathe for extended periods of time on the inhale, the hold, and the exhale. And one of the ways he got to that is the 2-to-1 breathing. You exhale twice as long as you inhale. But if you don't think this requires a lot of focus and the ability to lift your emotions, elevate your emotions, then you should try it, because it's an absolute requirement, and it can be part of your meditation. Use the body you have. It also, if you do these breathing, a lot of the breathing exercises in yoga, it's been shown to help lose weight, to tone. Obviously it's going to tone the abdominal wall, especially if you do Nali and those types of things. And I'm not going to explain what that is, but Bhastrika and Kapalabhati breathing. So the rapid exhale, rapid inhale, or the rapid exhale, the relaxed inhale. Pulling, exhaling all the way and holding it out. This takes tremendous concentration and focus. And again, that's the precursor to meditation. So you can do a lot of this stuff when you're doing yoga. And that's called Kundalini yoga. All the breathing. If you slow down on your breathing exercises, then good time to kick it up again and keep it going the rest of your life. You should have a plethora of tools in your toolbox, number one, and then a number of those tools should be just breathing stuff, okay? And you got mental stuff, and you got emotional stuff, and you got a bunch of stuff in the mental category, and so on. But as far as the physical body, you got the yoga poses, but you got breathing. And if you ever want to do the rapid exhale, rapid inhale while you're in down dog, add that into your practice. Okay, it's an incredible experience, and do it while you're seated, do it while you're standing in Tadasana. I cannot convey to you enough the importance of playing with the breath and practicing it every single day. Do some form of, do one or two of the different breathing exercises that we have in yoga, of the dozen or so that we have. Pick two every day and change it up so that you don't get bored. Okay? So we're going to go into another non-breathing meditation right now, so close your eyes. Eyes are closed. You're sitting tall. If you are able to lay down and not fall asleep, then lay down. But if you're prone to losing consciousness, then stay seated. Align yourself. So you do all the physical requirements first before you get into your meditation. Posture is erect and uplifted. You align accordingly. And you begin to breathe through your nose. Physiologically, that invokes your parasympathetic nervous system, and that's your relaxation, your rest and digestion system. So when we say the parasympathetic nervous system is your digestive system also, it's not just digesting food, but it's digesting the information you're getting. Are you freaking out about the information, or are you calm? How are you digesting what's coming into you from the outside? Breathing through the nose helps you to digest the information on the outside as well as the food in a calm way, a relaxed way. So inhale and exhale through the nostrils, slowing the breath down. Breathing in more with each breath. With each inhale, and slowing that exhale down. Now bring your point of focus, your single point of focus, to either your breath or to something else that lifts you up. If you're focused in on your breath, then bring to mind an elevated emotion that you can feel, so that you feel elevated. If you're focusing in on an elevated emotion, maintain still that smooth, deep, flowing breath. Putting yourself in that place, that dreamlike state, while conscious, where your dreams come true, your thoughts manifest, because you power them with uplifted feelings. Smile. Enjoy this moment. Become a master of your own domain. Your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual states. Determining how you feel. Choose to feel light, open, ecstatic, pure. Feel the peace that comes with quieting everything down. Right now, as you sit there, send someone a loving hug. Opening your heart and gifting another person. Now begin to come back. And when you're ready, open up your eyes. So I want to say that when I first started back in 2002, when I first started playing with breathing, I had a hard time holding a breath and inhale for 15 seconds before the panic started. Okay, so my fear response kicked in, and it was a challenge. So, like I said, within 2 to 3 months, I was up to one breath every 3 minutes, where I could hold an inhale for 55 seconds, and I could hold it for longer than that if I was just working with the inhale. But I would not hold the inhale. I was inhaling for 55 seconds, holding for 60 seconds, and exhaling for 55 seconds. And if I was just doing a hold, I could hold it for longer than that, but that's what I was working on. And it took me 2.5 months. Every single day I worked for 40 minutes, twice a day, 20 minutes each time, because I was into it. Okay, I just decided to do that. I got into it. Wayne Dyer was my inspiration because I was listening to a CD that he made that was oming. Track 1 was oming and track 2 was eyeing. So you go ah or om. And he'd do that for about 30 seconds, and I tried to match him. And I couldn't. So that was my motivation, and then I blew by him within 3 or 4 weeks. And it was interesting how rapid that happened. So if I could do it, my point is you could do it, but it takes practice, okay? Then you get into, I lost my fear. So you're working the entire time. You're working not only lengthening your breath, but you're working your mental and emotional state. I got rid of my fear. It took me all those weeks and the 2.5 months to get beyond that. And I did. That was the best part of it. And I never, until last night, as I was listening to some videos of Stig, the Swedish guy who can hold his breath for 22 minutes, never realized that I should actually focus on something that's uplifting while doing this, because that calms you, and the body, the physical body, has less need for air. That's how you're able to hold your breath. And there's another technique that I'm not going to tell you about because it's too complicated right now. But practice this, okay? At some point, I'm going to do a Zoom class on how to meditate. It was supposed to be in March, but it got canceled because of the situation we're all in with the lockdown. But it's a how-to, it's meditation, how-to. And a lot of people started coming up to me in February and March asking me to teach a meditation class. And this is going to be a very basic meditation class, unlike anything you've had before, because it's going to be so basic, but it's going to be profound for you. So I got to figure out Zoom a little bit more. Once I do, I'll contact anybody who's interested. So if you are interested, I already have a list of people who signed up. But if anybody on this call is interested, let me know. I can't remember what the price was. It was $20 or $25 for 2 hours. That's it for today. If you missed the beginning part of this, go back and watch the beginning part, because it's the whole setup to what we did today. All right? Enjoy the rest of your day, rain or shine. Thank you. Namaste.